Father in heaven, our Heavenly Father, let your name be sanctified. Oh, let your kingdom come, let your will be done, as it is in heaven, so let it be done on the earth. Our daily bread, our daily portion, give unto us this day, and forgive us our sins, as we forgive our debtors, and let us not enter into the hands of great trial, but deliver us from the evil one. But deliver us from the evil Yours is the kingdom, yours is the power, yours is the glory, forever. Avinu b'shamayim, yitkadesh shimcha, tavor malchutcha, yaseh retzoncha, b'shamayim ken et lechem chokenu
Hi everybody, my name is Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Eli.
And I'm Jason.
And we are the YHWH Torah YouTube channel.
And it is a Shabbat, everybody. How are you guys doing out there? Is everybody good?
We're good.
Everyone who's in the chat room, all what? 11
We
of you
have
guys?
11 people.
11 of you guys. That is 11 awesome people that are out there. And thank you guys very, 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 very much for joining in on this. And it is a day of celebration. It is a feast day. What does it mean to be a feast day, Eli? How can this be a feast day?
It's the Shabbat.
What does that mean?
We are supposed to rest and read our Bibles, and it's a day with Yah.
It's a day with Yah. And what does that mean? Do we cook? Do we cling? Do we do any of this stuff?
No, we do that days prior. We do that on the preparation day, the 6th day. Today is the 7th day, so we do none of that. Well, we should do that all yesterday.
Absolutely. All right, so let's begin with let's begin with prayer. Let's start with that, and then we're going to do some praise and worship real quick. Precious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for joining us together in this little tiny ecclesia. We thank you for being with us, Father. We thank you for your Son, Yahusha. We thank you for your Torah, Father. I ask that you will help us to write this on our hearts, minds, and souls today, that we will embed this into our lives, that we will make this part of our lives. And Father, that your ways will be our ways, and we will do nothing but what you want us to do. Father, your ways are beautiful. Your creation is beautiful. Everything you have designed is beautiful. And Father, we are your people coming out of captivity. We are asking you to be our Elohim. You have told us, you have given us in your word that you would be our Elohim, and we will be your people. Father, we ask that you will keep us, guide us, keep us where you want us to be. And Father, we thank you for everything. Again, we thank you for your Son, Yahusha, and we thank you for your Torah. We ask this all in the name of Yahusha. Amen. All right, everybody, praise and worship. Let's talk a little bit about something. There's always a good time that we can give praise and worship to our Creator. We've talked about this ad nauseum at some points, how everything in creation is absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely perfect. There's nothing that I could ever come up with as a redesign that would enhance anything at all. In fact, everything that I could ever enhance would be a problem with creation. All right, praise and worship. What do you guys have?
The thing I have is I'm thankful for the protection of our dogs, the protection of level that we can be protected. Outside of YHWH gives an extra level of protection with the dogs.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a dangerous world that we live in, because for those who don't know, we have 10 pit bulls, and the dogs are one of Yah's most amazing creations. Not only are they what they call man's best friend, but that it's true that these animals desire to be around humans. They desire to be petted by humans, and they will do anything. They're completely loyal to humankind, and they're kind of a one kind of an animal. You don't have that with cats. You don't have that with anything else. Dogs are truly man's best friend, and we've been blessed with a time in such a life that we get to live a lifetime of extreme experiences and get to see Yah's creation in a pack world. And most people will never ever get to live life where they live and they exist within a dog pack, and we do. And so it is kind of a strange world here, but yeah, that's beautiful. Nicole, what do you got?
I say the birds, just to hear them every morning, watch them fly around, watch them build nests. They're just an amazing thing to watch.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, we can go even further. I mean, if you look at the design of a bird and you look at the bone structure of birds, where the bones in a bird are hollow, and everything that our Creator has designed. Imagine a bird that had bones like we have, right? They would all be walking. They would be walking the distance. They wouldn't be flying south for the winter. They'd be walking south for the winter, and everything would get them. But yeah, flight, the flight of birds, and just the way they fly, and they can glide up in the sky, and they can do just amazing things. It is amazing. Our Creator is awesome. Eli.
I'm thankful for our flour. We have it for us. We have it for our dogs if we need it. If we can it lasts for a while. Flour is a blessing from Yah.
Are you talking flowers or flour?
Flour, like cooking flour.
Cooking flour, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Our Creator has, without a shadow of a doubt, set us apart, that we are able to do what we are able to do. And we don't have to worry about a lot of the other issues within life. But yeah, we have a lot of flour. And a lot of flour has actually gone bad. We didn't realize that when we first started getting flour, but the flour has gone bad, and we didn't know what to do. But we ended up, now we almost have a lifetime of pit bull dog food, as well as we have our flour as well. So yeah, amazing. Kate, what do you got?
I am thankful for the animals in general, just amazing creatures. Every single one of them has their own specific designs. You have bees for pollinating, you have pigs for cleaning up trash, you have the fish for the sea and all the things, and Yah just created such amazing animals in every design he has.
It's a beautiful cycle. It is a beautiful cycle of life. Down here in South America, where we are at, you can have an animal that can die out in the middle of a jungle, and it will be consumed in a matter of 2 or 3 days. You won't have much left. Depends, but usually birds from hundreds of miles will come, and the whole skies are just, their birds are everywhere, and they're coming down, and they'll eat the kill. And Yah has created something, like you said, a pig. A pig's job is to go around and pick up trash. It's to go and eat stuff that people shouldn't eat. Humans should obviously not eat pig, but it is beautiful. All right, so mine is, I am thankful for reflexes and the way that we are built. And when I say reflexes, there's a lot of times you'll drop something, you'll be able to catch it in the air, or you will, something will come at you and you're able to blink before you lose your eyes. Everything that we have, whether it is senses, our senses, or touch, or feel, or how we can feel like heat and cold, if we were unable, or we were built in a different way, we would be hurting ourselves day in and day out. There wouldn't be a day that we didn't go through. Everything that we knew, we wouldn't know, because we couldn't say, hey, don't touch that, it's hot, because we wouldn't know if it was hot. We would just burn ourselves. Hey, look, your skin is melting off your hands. You probably should let go of that hot pan. And we wouldn't know it, right? We know when we have like a slight little bug bite here and there, and our bodies are amazing creations. And yeah. All right, so this is our Shabbat special that we go across, and we do every Shabbat, and we do what they did back in the days, which is to read the Torah. And the Torah, for anybody that's joining us new, or anybody that ever sees this, the Torah is the what they call, I guess the Christians have it as something they call taboo, where it's something that isn't for them. It's something that has been done away with. It is something that it's the old people of Moses. They did this. They will even go as far as saying, "Oh, that's only for God's chosen people." And then you're like, "Wow, don't you want to be a chosen person of Yah?" And when you read through the scriptures, you only find one way to be chosen by our Creator, and it's not the people that are living in sin. Although there are times that Yah will come and use the people living in sin for His will and for His desires. But if you are looking to be a child of the Most High, there is one way to do it. So as we go through the Torah, and I don't want this to get boring for folks, because it is something that is absolutely not boring. And the website was having a little bit of problems today, but for anybody who can actually get to this and you want to follow along, it's simple enough. It's yahuandthetorah.net, and it's YHWHANDTHETORAH.net. And as we go through this, Nicole did a simplified version. There's a full version that will give you the entire scriptures. And then we have a simplified version now that it's really easy to read. And when we read through these, if we can have you keep on your mind that these are the forsaken laws of our Creator. We are in a generation now where nobody is seeking the ways of our Creator. And when we look through these laws, there's nothing taboo about them. There's no evil to them. There's no disgusting stuff. There's nothing that would end up getting you killed. Everything in this is the way of our Creator, and it is very important that we do things of this nature. And I'll be the first. I'll say commandment number 1 is to be fruitful. And that is a huge commandment in of itself. If we are looking at commandments of commandments, being fruitful would stop us from being lazy sluggards on the couch. Right? If we're sitting there spending 5 days a week on the couch and we never ever get off, and we're dependent upon a government or something to take care of us, we are not being fruitful. Our Creator has provided us with hands and a beautiful mind and a body that is functioning. And for the most of us, we can do a lot of this stuff. So that is a very important. That's why I think that, the very first commandment is to be fruitful. All right, let's continue on, guys. Let's go through these.
Multiply.
Commandment 3, replenish the earth.
Commandment 4, subdue it and have dominion over the fish. Oh, I need to fix that. Fowl and every living creature.
Yeah, there's a couple of errors in this, but it's for the most part you get it. So have dominion over the fish, fowl, and every living creatures.
Commandment 5, the herb bearing in every tree is for food.
Man and woman should build their own families.
Commandment 7, master sin.
Every clean moving thing that lives shall be food for you.
Do not eat the blood.
Walk before me and be perfect.
Guard Yahuwah's covenant laws, statutes, and commandments.
And you see, we have a few typos in this, but we're getting our game together. But if we can just take a quick look at Commandment 11, and it has guard Yahuwah's covenant laws, statutes, and commandments. In this, there's a lot of verses here, right? So we start with Genesis, and then we go all the way through Exodus. Right now, we're on Numbers. And as we enter into Deuteronomy, which today will be the last day of Numbers, we're going to make it through Numbers today. When we get into Deuteronomy, it's going to reinforce a tremendous amount of these, and so this list is going to get a little bit longer. Kate.
Every male shall be circumcised at 8 days old.
And what okay, there's a lot of discussion regarding circumcision. A lot of people they said it's a just a bloody, horrible thing, and they'll even say that you're molesting children when you do this, and the kids never recover from this. But it is a covenant between ourselves and our Creator, and He says that you want to be circumcised, and He says it's on 8 days. And if it is a covenant between He and us, why wouldn't we want to be in this, and why wouldn't we do everything possible that it would take to do this? Because if you are not circumcised, you should not be taking part of Passover. That is part of the thing. So that is a commandment as well. All right, 13.
Teach your children the commands and guard the way of Yahuwah.
Remember Yahuwah's name for all generations.
Keep the Passover.
Keep the feast of unleavened bread, matzah.
There is one Torah for the stranger and the Hebrew.
Sanctify all firstborn to Yahuwah.
Commandment 19. There are no mighty ones before Yah.
Command 20. You shall not make graven image.
21. Do not bring Yah's name to naught.
Commandment 22. Keep the Shabbat.
There we are. Hey, we're keeping the Shabbat. We're keeping the commandment. And if you can see, there's, 9 verses in there? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, and there's 9 verses in there. And that's just the beginning, because they will say it over 240 times throughout Scriptures that we should be observing this day and keeping this day. It's very important. Okay.
Command 23. Honor your parents.
Here, here.
Do not kill.
Do not break wedlock.
Do not steal.
Do not make false accusations against your neighbor.
Do not covet anything of your neighbor's.
Commandment 29. Do not make an altar from rock that a tool has touched.
Do not go up to the altar by the steps.
If a man steal cattle, he shall restore it 5 times.
Yah's laws
For criminals. Doesn't exactly say a lot on that, but it has it's most of the chapter. Nicole, what does it have in there for laws for criminals?
So it was like if you create a fire, you have to pay restitution for that fire.
If you burn somebody's stuff down
If
with the
your
fire.
cow gets into somebody else's land, you're supposed to pay them back for what your cow destroyed.
Beautiful. Okay, and so that is actually a lot of that, and this is added in there, right? So this is one that we did not have, and this
Yep.
is why we haven't talked about this before, but this is one that Eli and I missed a long time ago. And for those who are wondering how long we've been doing this particular thing we've been doing for 171 days. 171 days ago we began in Genesis 1, and here we are. And so it hasn't been a year, but it's been a long time, a lot longer than I thought it was.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick.
Yep.
The grant says that people had to be circumcised to enter the land with Yahushua.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you would not want to be like that. And those guys that are talking about it just being like a child abuse or something of the sort. Look, I can't remember being circumcised. I can't remember any of this stuff, right? I'm sure it didn't feel good as a baby, but that is why we were a baby, and that's why we should be circumcised long before we ever can remember this kind of stuff. All right, next, kid.
33.
You shall stone the wizards and mediums.
Okay, and this was, again, we're trying to get the exact laws that we can keep today. There are a couple in this stuff that if you go out and you kill the wizards and mediums, expect a jail sentence. So a lot of what we're doing here is trying to get it through our heads that, hey, you see a lady out there, a lady who's a witch, right? Stay away from her. Stay away, get away from there. I mean, obviously we've been called out of the land of Babylon, and we've been told to flee from Babylon, and we're supposed to get away from it. But all of us are still surrounded by all these things. The culture that we are in makes it okay, right? They even have a day in October, Halloween, where they celebrate the witches, and it's just one of the most evil days around. And everybody, including the Christians, dress up their kids in little heathen gear, and they send them out, and they have people beg for candy, right? It's sick. So just be careful as we're going through this. Obviously, we shouldn't allow wizards and witches and things of that nature to live. But if you do it, you're going to end up in a lot of trouble right now. Okay, 34.
Do not lie with beasts.
No sacrifices to other gods.
Do not oppress the stranger, the fatherless, or widow.
Yep.
If you borrow your neighbor's raiment, return it to or sunset.
Yep, and these are all extra ones. These are all new to those who have followed us prior to this because we found this, or it was this week, right? We found this earlier this week that we had missed this, and
In Exodus 22.
in Exodus 22, there was one chapter that Eli and I did that we were having some disgruntled times during that day, and we missed a lot of this. So we actually went through this and we found it, which I'm glad about. But we're also going to go once we have all the commands together. We're going to read this yet again. We're going to go through this one more time in in 3 more translations, and we're going to try to dial it in and make sure we have this perfected. So we're not done on this list yet. All right.
Do not curse the ruler of your people.
Do not eat what is torn of any beast.
No false reports.
Do not follow the multitude of evil.
Do not judge unrighteous against the poor.
Bring back your enemy's cattle if you find it going astray.
45. Help the animals of your enemy.
Stay away from rumors and gossipers.
Take no bribes.
Do not oppress a stranger. Love the stranger.
Give your land rest in the 7th year.
Yep.
Do not mention any pagan names.
Keep the feasts of Yahuwah. And we are coming up on feast time pretty soon, aren't we?
Yep.
What do we got?
First we have the Feast of Trumpets.
Yep.
Or Yom
Yom
Kippur. Is that
Yom Teruah.
Yom Teruah.
And then we have Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur.
Day of Atonement.
Okay, when are these coming up?
So what is it? September 20? No,
August, September, do we know?
it's in September. I'll
Yom
have to
Kippur
look
is
again.
like October 7th through 9th, right? Or something like that?
Yeah.
Somewhere in those days.
Okay, so as we get closer to them, we will make sure everyone is like reminded for sure. Okay, do not cook your goat in his mother's milk.
Obey the messenger Yahuwah sends before you.
Command 54. Do not bow down to other Elohim.
Serve Yahuwah.
Make no covenant with other Elohim or outsiders of the land.
Do not make or use this anointing oil on a person, and also do not make or use this perfume on a normal person. So this is 57. 57 is screwed up. It says 257s right there. So we're actually off one.
Yep.
Okay, so anyway, that's 5758. And this was talking about the kind of anointing oils that they used in the tabernacle. And so this is good that we're proofreading this. This is actually our first proofread of this. All right, 58. Do not eat the fat.
59. Do what you say you are going to do.
Okay, 60. Return what is your name.
Obey Yah's dietary laws.
Dietary laws. Do we eat the pig?
No.
Why don't we eat the pig?
It's an abomination.
All right, what did we hear this week from a Christian? He doesn't. He said that Yah took the pig away because it was too good, and that was the whole test to see if somebody could stop eating the pig because it was too darn good. All right, next.
62. Women's time of separation.
Stay away from them. Yes, and the laws that are with them, men should not lie with a woman during that. 63. Hygiene law.
Keep the day of Yom Kippurim.
Do not uncover the nakedness of your family.
Yes.
Do not take your woman's sister for wife.
Do not lie with a woman in her uncleanness.
You shall not sacrifice your children to Moloch.
Do not be a sodomite.
Be holy.
Do not reap the corners of your field, or you shall not glean your vineyard.
Do not deal falsely or defraud your neighbor.
Do not lie or be a liar.
Pay your workers for the day's wage they are due.
Do not harm the disabled.
Do not injure your neighbor.
Do not hate your brother.
Rebuke your neighbor for his sin.
Love your neighbor as yourself.
Do not diverse your cattle.
Do not mingle your seed.
Do not mingle linen and wool.
Do not lie with a taken woman.
Do not eat the fruit of the tree for 3 years.
Do not practice sorcery.
Do not round the beard or the corners of your head.
Hear, hear.
Do not cut yourself for dead.
Do not get tattoos. Don't ruin your body.
Do not prostitute your daughter.
Do not defile your temple.
Do not consult the medium.
Respect your elders.
Hear, hear. Have correct weights and measurements.
Do not walk in the manner of the nation.
Feast of first fruits, Shavuot, Omer count.
Keep them.
Feast of trumpets, Yom Teruah.
Keep them.
Feast of Sukkot / Shemini Atzeret.
Keep it. If you blaspheme the name of Yahuwah, you shall be put to death.
If you kill your neighbor's animal, you must give him another.
Repay injury for injury.
Honor the Jubilee year.
Confess your sins to Yahuwah and repay who you have trespassed against.
And then they have a Torah for being a Nazarene. If you want to set yourself apart and you want to be set apart for Yah, then there's rules for that as well. And that is in Numbers 6, 2 through 21. Okay, 104?
Blow the trumpet on the new moon and feasts.
Yes.
Wear tzitzits on the 4 corners of your garments.
Whoever touches, this is a command, whoever touches a corpse.
Follow Yahuwah's laws of inheritance.
Okay, and what happens if somebody touches a corpse of a human body? What is it? What is...
They are unclean for 7 days.
And they have to bath on the third day to be clean. If they don't, then they are kicked out.
Right, and if they don't, but they had to bath using the ashes of a red heifer, as kind of a clinging thing. So how do we deal with this today?
We would use Yehoshua as our sacrifice.
But you'd probably still take a bath.
Yeah, definitely take a bath.
Yeah, it kind of still
I
follows
don't
the same
think we
rules.
have any more red heifers around.
No, I don't know. Yeah, we're not Levites either, so we would not want to attempt any of this, I don't think. I think it would be a bad news brown if we tried. All right, so here we go over here, and we are going to go into this, and we are already here, and I will bring the Sefer up, and is everybody ready?
Yep.
Numbers 34. We're going to run through this. We're going to finish this off today. What I want everyone to be aware of is that we're trying to pick out commandments, is what we're trying to do. And so when we see something there, okay, so let's quickly, before we go into it, let's say hi to everybody in the chat room. Who do we got in the chat room?
All right, so we got. Oh, sorry, All right, so we have Lester. We have
Lester, make sure you're drinking water, brother.
The Grand.
The water's going to heal you up.
the Grand.
Grand, we love you, Graham.
I miss DG. Sorry, Shabbat Shalom.
Hey, DG.
Zachariah Z is here.
Zach. Awesome.
Mason Shane.
Mason, hey. What's up? Is Barkley in?
Yep,
Barkley?
Fearmonger.
All right,
And
Barkley.
I'm sure Deborah's there with him.
All
Hi,
right.
Deborah.
Much love, fam. We love you guys.
And I don't know how to say this last name.
Give it a run.
Shaiki Asa?
Chaikasa?
Shagasa? Okay. Well, much love to everybody out there. Hello, hello, hello. We thank you guys for joining in, and let us begin our reading. And we, for those who do not know, the bottom of this screen is the Sefer, and the top of it on the left-hand side is the King James Version. The right-hand side is the NIV. And for those who are hooked onto one particular version, there's not a particular version that I have ever found without translation errors, including the Sefer. The Sefer is riddled with stuff. King is riddled with stuff. NIV is riddled with stuff. You need to study yourself to be approved unto Yah, a workman who needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth and getting to the bottom of a lot of this stuff. And so here we are. All right. And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Command the children of Yisrael, and say unto them, When ye come into the land of Canaan, this is the land that shall fall unto you for an inheritance, even the land of Canaan, with the coast thereof. All right. And before, actually, I messed this up because I did want to go into another screen and take a look at this, but we'll take a look at this before. If you guys can see the thumbnail that Nicole provided on this, where it has yellow at the top and yellow at the bottom, we believe this is what they are talking about. And so we'll go over that here in just a little bit. Verse 3. Then your south quarter shall be from the wilderness of Zin, along by the coast of Edom, and your south border shall be the outmost coast of the salt sea eastward. And your border shall turn from the Negev to the ascent of Ma'ala Akribim, and pass on to Zin, and the going forth thereof shall be from the Negev to Kadesh Barnea, and shall go on to Katsar Adar, and pass on to Atzman. And the border shall fetch a compass from Atzman unto the river of Mitzrayim, and the goings out of it shall be at the sea. And as for the western border, ye shall even have the great sea for a border. This shall be your west border. And this shall be your north border. From the great sea ye shall point out for you Mount Hor. From Mount Hor ye shall point out your border unto the entrance of Kamath, and the goings forth of the border shall be to Zedad. And the border shall go on to Zipron, and the goings out of it shall be at Katsar Enan. This shall be your north border. And ye shall point out your east border from Katsar Enan to Shepam. And the coast shall go down from Shepam to Rivlah, on the east side of Ain. And the border shall descend, and shall reach unto the side of the sea of Kinneroth eastward. And the border shall go to the Yarden, and the goings out of it shall be at the salt sea. This shall be your land, and the coast thereof round about. And Moshe commanded the children of Yisrael, saying, This is the land which ye shall inherit by lot, which Yahuwah commanded to give unto the 9 tribes, and to the half tribe. For the tribe of the children of Reuben according to the house of their fathers, and the tribe of the children of Gad according to the house of their fathers, have received their inheritance, and half the tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance. Okay, so what is he talking about right there? Who's received what? And
So
how?
this is because back a few chapters back, that they decided before, they're like, hey, we want this land. This land is really good. We really want this land. So can we have this land? And then they made a deal that we'll still fight with you guys. We'll leave our families here. We'll go out and fight with you guys, get you as your land, and then we'll come back to our land.
Okay, but should there be 12 tribes of Israel? How do we end up with difference?
Because Levi does not count as a tribe because they are the priests. They get no land inheritance. But the tribe of Joseph, when Jacob blessed Joseph's children, they got divided into two. So there's now the tribe of Joseph are divided into two. So basically, we have 13 tribes. But since Levi doesn't count as an inheritance, they don't get inheritance. We have 12.
Nice, beautiful. Thank you. All right, I'm at 15.
Yep.
All right. The 2 tribes and the half tribe have received their inheritance on this side of the Yarden, near Jericho, eastward toward the sun rising. And Yahuwah spoken to Moshe, saying, These are the names of the men which shall divide the land unto you, Eleazar the priest, and Yahusha the son of Nun. And ye shall take one prince of every tribe to divide the land by inheritance. And the names of the men are these: of the tribe of Yehuda, Caleb the son of Yefunah, and the tribe of the children of Shimon, Shemuel the son of Amniad. Of the tribe of Benjamin, Elidad the son of Kiklon, and the prince of the tribe of the children of Dan, Buki the son of Yogli, the prince of the children of Joseph for the tribe of the children of Manasseh, Keniel the son of Ephod, and the prince of the tribe of the children of Ephraim, Kemuel the son of Shiptan, and the prince of the tribe of the children of Zebulun, Eletzia Tasfan, and I think I messed that up. Let me try that again. Eliasaphan, the son of Parnak, and the prince of the tribe of the children of Issachar, Paliatel, the son of Azan, and the prince of the tribe of the children of Asher, Akihud, the son of Shelomi, and the prince of the tribe of the children of Naphtali, Peda-el, and the son of Amnihud. These are they whom Yahuwah commanded to divide the inheritance unto the children of Yashrael into the land of Canaan. All right, so we're going to go into the next chapter, but what I want us to look at real quick is right here in the gallery. And let's take a quick look. So this was the one that we did yesterday when we were looking through this, and this was actually really helpful for us so that we could figure out what exactly is happening. And as they started up out of Egypt, right, if you follow those red lines, they went from Ramses, right out of Ramses, and they went into Etham, and then Merah, and then all the way down here, and then Yah brought them back up. And this discussion we had yesterday, because these places right here, this Masharoth, Hashem, all these ones right here, they spent a lot of time basically traveling between these 2 points right here, right? They were probably spending days, weeks, months on their travels, but here it seems like there was a lot of stuff. And then they went up into here and around over here, and then somewhere they made it down into here, and then all the way up into here. So now that we have that, I don't know if this is a good map or not, but this was essentially what we were looking at. And everybody, I'm colorblind, so this is actually a huge mess to me. I can't really tell any of these colors together. There's like all these, they're all blended together. I can tell you the blues, there's some blues in there, but everything else looks red or brown. I don't know what it is. But for those who are not colorblind, this is the divisions of the land. And we're just trying to figure that out, what the yellow stuff was, because I thought they occupied up higher, but probably not. All right, Nicole, do you have something?
Nope.
Okay.
I just want to mention that when it said Joshua and Caleb were part of the leaders of dividing the tribe, they would have to be much older than everyone else.
Well, yeah.
Everyone else dying off, and then they're the only ones left.
Yep.
They're like way older than everyone else.
Yeah. So everybody has died off right to this point, right? We are actually 40 years later is what this was. It's 40 years, but only a few chapters for this. So, all right, let's continue on. This is into Numbers 35. And Yahuwah spoke unto El Moshe in the plains of Moab by the Yarden near Jericho, saying, Command the children of Yashrael that they give unto the Levium of the inheritance of the possession cities to dwell in, and ye shall give also unto the Levium suburbs for the cities round about them. All right, so what are we saying here?
So the Levites had their own little communities in the land. They had their own little communities. And the thing, I think that's what it's talking about, is they were part of the land, but they each got their own little villages, I think.
Yeah, so Yah separated them. He's put them out all around. Why would Yah separate everybody, Jade?
So that people didn't have to go a long ways to go find a priest to sacrifice. So if you did a sin, you go find a priest next door and go ahead to your sacrifice.
Right, or somebody that could guide you, because a priest would also know the Torah far better than everybody else because that is what they live in by this means.
And they had to go to them to see, like, when they were sick, too. So
Right.
they didn't have to travel far.
Right. So they're doctors as well. And so they put them all around there. And for those who can hear our roof, I am so sorry. It makes these noises when the sun's out and stuff. There's nothing actually hitting it, but it's just making crazy noises. All right. And the cities shall they have to dwell in, and the suburbs of them shall be for their cattle, and for their goods, and for all their beasts. Now, Jade, would you please stop biting your nails on this? What does that mean for cattle and for goods and for all the beasts, Jade?
So basically, because they get a lot of animals given to them and stuff for their gifts or sacrifices, so they need a place to store all of this stuff.
But I mean, if they're sacrificing their animals, why do they have a ton of animals?
Because there's a lot of people sinning, so they have a
Yeah,
lot
but
of stuff.
then they went and brought the cattle to them to sacrifice them. How are they still alive?
I don't think they sacrificed all of them that same day. I don't think it was like that. I don't think they had all the time killing and slaughtering. But I'm sure they had everything burning all the time. But I don't think they were killing everything at once.
Right, but I mean, if somebody came up and brought a sacrifice to that, you would kill that sacrifice while you were there, right? You wouldn't put it in your pen or something of the sort and tell the guy, hey, have a good day, your sacrifice has been completed, right? So how did the Levites end up with a lot of cattle? I mean, why do they need all of this stuff?
Maybe they had their own stuff for their own meat outside of sacrifices.
What about the times when people they wanted to give up a part of their land or wanted to give up something like just a gift to Yah, and that ended up with the Levites, right? And so there was a lot of excess of that because people were giving, what did they call it? Not an oath, but a
tithe?
Not a tithe, almost a tithe, almost like a tithe, but
a separation. No, hold on, it was a
The set apart,
Sanctification.
sanctified.
yes. Yeah, so I mean, basically, you can ordain your stuff and you can give it up to the priest, and it's basically a gift to Yah. All right, so let's continue on. And the suburbs of the cities, which ye shall give unto the Levium, shall reach from the wall of the city and outward 1,000 cubits round about. Anyone know what 1,000 cubits is off the top of your head? Eli, what do you got up there? So 1,000 cubits, 1,500 feet, or about 450 meters. So they're basically, 1,500, was it 1,500 meters? 400 feet, yeah, 1,500 feet. That's not very far. So that is, for us, that is 5,280 feet is a mile. So we're talking about a little over 1/5 of a mile. So these guys were really close to the city, right? Within walking distance. You could definitely walk and go get to a priest. So
I think you could walk in just a couple of minutes and be there.
yeah, it wouldn't take very long. And ye shall measure from without the city on the east side 2,000 cubits, and on the south side 2,000 cubits, and on the west side 2,000 cubits, and on the north side 2,000 cubits. And the city shall be in the midst. This shall be to them the suburbs of the cities. Okay, so what are we talking about here? What are they measuring this for?
I think it's the square. I think it's like a square. One side, right, is like 2,000 feet on one side, 2,000 feet on the other. Or, yeah, 3,000 feet on one side, 3,000 feet on the other side, and like 1,000 feet.
But what did they put here? Does anyone get this?
I think they put Levites. I think they gave them a walled city.
Well, they gave them. They surrounded the city with them, right? Is this what we're reading here?
Mine, in the NIV it says they will have this area as pasture land for the towns.
So still more pasture land.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first part of this.
And that might give them land to build houses as well.
All right, and the suburbs of the cities which ye shall give unto the Levium shall reach from the wall of the city. So suburbs are going to be different than this. Suburbs are going to be other places where people are living.
Where
right?
yours says suburbs, mine NIV says pasture land.
Pasture land and 4?
Yeah, and all of them where yours says suburbs, it's always pasture land.
Okay, so you're talking like, yeah. Well, we don't know. We know suburbs is like a little city outside of a city. All right, so it's pasture land. All right, 5. Is it 5 or 6?
6.
All right.
6.
And among the cities which ye shall give unto the Levium, there shall be 6 cities for refuge, which ye shall appoint for the manslayer, that he may flee thither. And to them ye shall add 40 and 2 cities. Okay, so what does that mean, 40 and 2 cities? 42 cities of
42
what?
cities of refuge for those someone kills someone, they can run there. It talks about that.
Okay, so first of all, it says you should give 6 cities for refuge. The Levium there shall be. Okay, so the Levites only have 6 cities for refuge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that he may flee hither, and to them ye shall add 40 and 2 cities. I don't understand that. Does anyone get that?
Okay, so Levites get 42 cities, and then 6 cities go for the city of refuge.
Is that what it said? No, it said.
If you read the next verse, you'll understand.
Okay. So all the cities which ye shall give to the Levium shall be 40 and 8 cities. Them shall ye give to with their suburbs. So only 6 of the 42 are for
6 of the 48.
6 of the 48, if you have murdered somebody, you can flee to them, but you cannot flee to the other 40 and have any kind of safety.
Right.
All right. And the cities which ye shall give shall be of the possession of the children of Yashrael. From them that have many ye shall give many, but from them that have few ye shall give few. Everyone shall give of his cities unto the Levium according to his inheritance which he inherits. And Yahuwah spoke unto El Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Yashrael, and say unto them, When ye are come over the Yarden into the land of Canaan, then ye shall appoint you cities to be cities of refuge for you, that the slayer may flee thither, which kills any person at unawares. Okay, what did you guys say?
Who accidentally killed someone shall flee there.
Okay, so this is interesting, right? This is very, very interesting here, because this essentially is like a family against you, right? You accidentally just went and killed somebody, and like the brother of the guy that you accidentally killed is coming for you, right? So this is some very interesting stuff here, and I can't tell you. I did read through this. I can't tell you I quite understand the exact concept of it all, because it's all about when the judges or the whoever's in charge of it, they're only good up until that time. So let's continue on. 12 verse 11.
12.
All right. And they shall be unto you cities for refuge from the avenger, that the manslayer die not until he stand before the assembly in judgment. Okay, so that tells us something, right? That tells us that even though the guy accidentally killed somebody, he still has to stand judgment for it, right? So he's still going to have some sort of a trial. Okay, 13. And of these cities which ye shall give 6 cities shall ye have for refuge. Ye shall give 3 cities on this side of the Yarden, and 3 cities shall ye give in the land of Canaan, which shall be cities of refuge. These 6 cities shall be a refuge, both for the children of Yashrael, and for the stranger, and for the sojourner among them, that everyone that kills any person unawares may flee thither. Okay, anyone else have anything different on any of your versions?
No.
Okay, what do you guys think of this?
I think this is a good thing. This is a good thing to have, like I say, refuge, because if someone dies, someone gets killed, right? Even if it's an accident, there's still going to be people that are upset about it, people that are still want to take vengeance, people that are still not going to be accepting of someone's death. So this is a way to protect people if they were innocent.
So what do you think the city would look like?
It probably doesn't have walls and probably places to like lock
Massive
down.
wall. I would say massive walls and massive guards, right? Because the dude who's coming to avenge his brother is going to probably try to sneak in the city. And this city has to actually stop this. And so this city has to be special cities, right? These are not going to be just average Joe cities. These are going to be something different that is able to take care of the people of Yah as they're trying to work through these situations. All right, 16. And if he smite him with an instrument of iron so that he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. Okay? I'm not going to move up on mine because I want to discuss this. And if he smite him with throwing a stone wherewith he may die, and he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. Okay.
So if it's not an accidental kill, you will be killed.
Yeah. So if you didn't accidentally do it, and how do you accidentally kill someone?
Like the head of your axe slides off, or like a tree falls on top of them. Some accidents.
There's 1,000 ways to die accidentally, and it's not. And most of the time, it's not going to be murder. Okay, but if you kill him with iron, you're dead, right? Mm-hmm. You with what you killed, you will be killed. And with a stone, they'll probably stone you to death as well. Or if he smite him with a hand weapon of wood, wherewith he may die, and he die, he is a murderer. The murderer shall surely be put to death. Okay, so we just learned 3 different ways to kill people, right? You have iron, stone, and then you have wood. Are there any other ways to kill people?
I think these are like.
Here's the
thing. I think these are the intentional ways, because someone's not going to die from just taking wood unless it's like inflicted on purpose, right? If you take a stone and you're trying to kill him with the stone,
you can be chucking a rock at like a squirrel and actually kill somebody. It doesn't take much to actually hurt somebody. In fact, let me tell you, when I was a kid, I was sitting there in 5th grade, and I was sitting there. I had a little itty bitty tiny pebble, and my friends and I, we were all sitting around this thing, right? I just threw a rock up in the air, and this little pebble knocked my best friend's tooth out. His whole tooth. I got home, I got beat. My dad's like, "Why are you chucking rocks?" And I'm like, I was just sitting in a thing. I wasn't throwing rocks. I was just tossing little, and it wasn't a big rock. It was the size of smaller than a fingernail, and I knocked his tooth out. And so it doesn't take much to actually hurt somebody with a something of the sort. And I got to pay for that. It was like $200 back in like 1980s, man. That was expensive. Actually, I think it was in the early 90s. All right, where do we have this next? 19. The revenger of blood himself shall slay the murderer. When he meets him, he shall slay him. Wow. Okay, so that's hardcore right there, right? It's going to take I mean, here's the gig, right? To actually do the art of killing somebody, it's hardcore, right? It's not something that normal people can just go out and do, right? Because we value human life to the point of this. But the laws are that the revenger himself, the guy that needs to see this done, is the guy that will kill him. So that's right. Imagine that in today's courtrooms in North America, right? If the people that you could have, if you could kill those who killed your loved ones or something of the sort, is that right? What do you guys think? Is this still right? What about forgiving your neighbor? What about forgiving those who have done evil against you?
I mean, if it's an accident, then this is a different story. If they did it on purpose, they'll probably kill again on purpose. So it's probably get rid of these people.
Probably kill them and just
rid the evil, rid like the shed blood. If this is an accident,
if it's an accident, then they should probably.
What are you going to do over an accident? You can only be so angry.
Well, the revenger of blood is going to want to kill you for that. I mean, even if it's an accident, your brother or your whatever it is gone, and there's nothing that can bring a human being back, and so. This is just some interesting stuff. All right.
Like, does the dude deserve death for accidentally killing someone? What was an accident? He wasn't meaning to.
Well, that's why you would have a city like this, right? First of all, everybody can get their emotions under control, because I'm sure the very first thing is they get the guy in there, they give him a place, and they start calming the situation down, right? And you probably have the revenger of blood that sets a tent up outside of that city when he knows that they went into that, right? This is an interesting way that Yah has people dealing with this stuff, because as humans, we get completely emotional, and what you would do the next day isn't what you would do a year ago, right? As the pain, as your heart starts mending, you may not be the same guy like a year ago that wants to go kill this guy. But immediately after somebody in your family dies that somebody has killed, you would definitely want to go lay hands on that guy in one way, shape, or form. Okay, so this is interesting. 20. But if he thrust him of hatred, or hurl at him by laying in wait that he die, or in enmity smite him with his hand that he die, he that smote him shall surely be put to death, for he is a murderer. The revenger of blood shall slay the murderer when he meets him. So there you go, Jay. That answers your question about beating somebody to death, right? That's it. And then the revenger of blood is still after you, and it sounds like a process, right? The revenger of blood sounds like everybody in their family had a revenger of blood, the uncle that you don't know about. Okay, 22. But if he thrust him suddenly without enmity, or have cast upon him anything without laying in wait, or with any stone wherewith a man may die, seeing him not, and cast it upon him that he may die, or was not his enemy, never sought his harm. Okay, then the assembly shall judge between the slayer and the revenger of blood according to these judgments. Okay, so what is this saying right here?
So if you accidentally killed someone, if you accidentally used a stone, or you accidentally pushed him or something, but you didn't have any hatred, you weren't meaning to kill him, you had no harm towards that guy, then the congregation, basically the people that were in charge of dealing with these crimes, have to judge. They're like, revenger of blood, is this guy worth killing? Should we kill him, or should we just forgive him?
Okay, so I'm confused here. Why is the revenger of blood? Why are we judging between the slayer and the revenger of blood?
Because the revenger of blood wants to kill him.
Got it.
The slayer has to be put in judgment. They have to evaluate everything. So I assume there was almost like a court setup
It's probably
for
to see
these
if the dude's
people. Like
lying or
this
not.
guy's time is up. He needs to be evaluated. They need to evaluate the facts, the circumstances, and everything around them.
Yeah, definitely different than we have today by all.
And it's probably like to judge him to see if he's lying about it. Like, did you accidentally kill this dude or not? And he's like, I accidentally killed him, and he didn't. That's why the revenger of blood's like, no, he killed my brother like this, or someone else.
Right, the revenger of blood's definitely going to be out for his dead, slain friend or brother or whatever it is. All right, 25.
Hold on.
All right.
The Grand says such a picture of the Father's compassion.
Yes.
Of this, and then Fearmonger says very righteous law.
Yeah, it is a very righteous law. I don't know any other way that we would deal with this, right? Here's the thing, is if the revenger of blood is unable to take care of the evil that was bestowed upon his family, he's going to carry around with him for a very long time a lot of anger. Like he might become a very different person. Humankind is very strange how this works, but yeah, very righteous. All right, 25. And the assembly shall deliver the slayer out of the hand of the revenger of blood, and the assembly shall restore him to the city of his refuge, whether he is fled, and he shall abide in it until the death of the high priest, which was anointed with the holy oil. Okay, that's a huge thing right there. Let's not continue on this.
You could be there for a long time.
It could be there a long time, or the guy could die the next day, and the revenge. I mean, basically, it says this guy has to die, right? It says unto whether he is fled, he shall abide it until the death of the high priest. So that could be a problem, or it could not be a problem. If the high priest is a young guy, then you got 50, 60 years, right? But if the dude is like ancient, 104 or something, and he's like on his deathbed, then this revenger of blood is going to be after you like in a year or like 6 months, right? So that's going to be very, very interesting. So again, this is Yah's laws are crazy, amazing stuff. Okay. But if the slayer shall at any time come without the border of the city of his refuge, whither he has fled, and the revenger of blood find him without the borders of the city of his refuge, and the revenger of blood kill the slayer, he shall not be guilty of blood. Wow. Okay. This is crazy, right? So this is a way that you can legally, in Yah's laws, murder somebody if these people don't go. Why is this? How is it possible that you're able to kill this guy? Say he accidentally killed a man. He's in the city. He decides he needs to wander out of the city and go get some blueberries or something. And he goes out and grabs some blueberries. And lo and behold, the slayer's out there, the revenger. But he can kill you and there's nothing to do. What do we make of this?
I guess stay in the city. I mean, the city's built there for it to keep you safe. If you leave, that's on you. You choose your death.
How would they make a living in this city of refuge like this?
I think they would have to probably be fed, or like they'd probably be taken care of while they're there, or maybe they can like do some jobs around the city. I don't know.
Jobs around the city.
I'm not sure how often people are actually there. How many times they actually killed somebody.
I'm sure, and you have millions of people, I'm sure you can actually kill people pretty easily. It's just a matter of metrics, mathematics. You chop enough trees, you have enough guys out there. At some point, somebody gets lazy or somebody gets tired and turns his head, and the axe handle flies off, and he just accidentally kills somebody. That's kind of how it happens.
Fearmonger says you better be in good shape if you kill somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. You better get the Foot Leather Express on and run for the hills, son. Okay. 28. But he should have remained in the city of his refuge until the death of the high priest. But after the death of the high priest, the slayer shall return into the land of his possession. Okay, how does this fix anything? I don't understand this.
I don't know.
If this high priest isn't like if it hasn't been years and years and years, and you sneak back into your city, these people are going to get you. Now, what happens?
Revenger of blood. What are we gonna do with him? Like, right? Does he know that the Kohen Hagedal is dead, or is his anger just supposed to pass over when that guy dies?
Well, I'd be if it were me and I had a big old beef against this guy, I would be, hey, how are you? I'd be checking in on that Kohen all the time. How you doing? How you feeling? Right? Are you feeling well? Are you getting old? Things of that nature, because you go, this guy is on his death's door. I got 3 years and I'm going to go settle some business. How does this work?
I think that if the Revenger of Blood kills him after the high priest dies, then he's also guilty of blood.
He is also guilty of blood? How do you know that? What do you say?
Because he says it's not guilty if he goes out before the high priest dies.
Yeah, no, I get that. So maybe Eli's right. Maybe anyone else have anything to add to this?
No, but the Grand says the slayer is deprived of everything else. Yes, home, family, etc. So when they go to that refuge, they have no contact with their family because they can't leave.
Right, but their family would probably send in somebody. You probably have visitors.
It's like a prison.
It's not a prison. It's a voluntary prison.
Right, but it's like...
It's a sanctuary. It's a place and they would have to have the baddest guards outside that building.
There's some angry people coming on.
I mean, there could be the Revenger of Blood's cousins, right? All those guys. I mean, there could be a whole tribe that comes after and kills this guy. It could get really violent really quickly. So they're going to have many guards and many people that are guarding this city. And it's going to be very interesting. So I guess after the high priest dies, then the Revenger will be guilty of blood. But prior to this, if Homeboy's out picking up blueberries and the Revenger finds him, it's over. And the Revenger's good.
Well, that's on you.
Yeah. Okay. So these things shall be for a statute of judgment until you throughout your generations in all your dwellings. Whosoever kills any person, the murder shall be put to death by the mouth of witnesses. But one witness shall not testify against any person to cause him to die. Okay, very important right there. Two witnesses, right? And so, but this is very interesting. Do we have a commandment here? This would be like stoning the witches, right? This would be like, all right, we should kill the mediums.
I kind of wish we had a refuge city so we could take this whole chapter, but
Yeah, we don't have cities of refuge, and you couldn't do this stuff in today. All the laws of the land would come and.
definitely the murder should be put to death. That should be something definitely, but it can't be put to death without more than 2 witnesses. Maybe.
So if you kill somebody, you should be put to death.
yeah, but you can't. But you have to have 2 witnesses to be put to death. So
Yeah,
maybe
it's like where if somebody hates someone, right, and he's like, how can I get this dude dealt with? How can I get rid of him? And you bring in a fake report to this guy and say this dude killed someone, but there's no witnesses. It doesn't matter.
Well, they did that in wasn't it Baal and the Dragon or something, or what was that one where they went against that woman?
Susanna.
Oh, Susanna and the Dragon, was it?
It's just Susanna.
Susanna, the book of Susanna. Yeah,
It
what was it?
around
Yeah,
Daniel's time.
yeah, around Daniel's time. Tell us the story of that real quick.
So basically, there were these 2 men that Susanna was like, I think she was like someone important. I don't exactly remember who exactly was, but she was someone important in the land. There were like 2 elders in the
And she was holy.
and there were like 2 elders in the land, and they were like lusting after her, but she wouldn't like go with them. So then they they made a false report that she had been seen with a young man. So then she was going to be put to death. But then Daniel comes in and they're like, are you just going to accuse this woman and put her to death because of these 2 witnesses? And then he like separates them and he asks them 2 separate questions of which tree he saw them under. They both gave him different testimonies. So then those 2 got put to death.
Yeah, good. And so yeah, that's
false reports.
no false reports. Yeah, God doesn't like that. All right, let's continue on. Where are we at?
I think 31.
Is it 31?
Yeah.
All right. Moreover, you shall take no satisfaction for the life of a murderer, which is guilty of death, but he shall surely be put to death. Okay, what does that say?
He says, do not accept a ransom for the life of a murderer who deserves to die. They are to be put to death.
Oh, okay. So that basically says that if you have a rich family and they're trying to buy off, if you murder somebody in Yah's eyes, you dead. You dead. Okay. 32. And ye shall take no satisfaction for him that is fled to the city of his refuge, that he should come again to dwell in the land until the death of the priest. So ye do not pollute the land wherein you are, for blood it defiles the land, and land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. Defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I, Yahuwah, dwell among the children of Yashrael. Okay, so this takes me to one quick question I have. What?
33 feels like a command, but good to your thing.
Okay, so what, 33, hold on. So let's talk about abortions real quick, right? So we have abortions. In fact, not just, it's a worldwide death sentence, right? It is from the break of light to in Israel, it's 11:30 p.m. at night. You can go and get an abortion in Israel. Just call in. You don't even make it. It's like a drive-in thing. So every female that has aborted their baby, should they be put to death?
Yeah, absolutely.
According to Yah's laws.
I mean, them and the doctor.
And the doctor for sure.
It's a multiple murder.
Yeah, well, so would a woman or would the doctor be put to death under Yah's laws?
Both.
Both?
They both committed murder.
But she didn't. She allowed it
She
to
allowed
happen.
it to happen. She wanted it to happen. So I would say she was the one who like made the doctor do it. So yeah, I'd say they both.
Okay, what if a woman is raped and she still wanted to kill her kid? Is there any kind of justification for this?
I mean, you can't really kill a child. I mean, it's not his fault that he was born. It shouldn't be his. He shouldn't die for it either.
Is there any justification if a woman is raped and you kill the child?
Back in the Bible, you would stone the person that was the rapist.
Yeah, and I mean, you would. It
You'd
doesn't.
kill that person
just
instead.
because you have a child of somebody that raped you does not make it that person, right? It makes them a whole other thing. It's how you raise your children is how it's going to be. So I would say, yeah, you're right. The women and the doctor should all be killed. Maybe the nurses as well.
I think the whole abortion thing should be killed.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't even be working there.
Well, I mean, this is what it is. So the world is crazy. All right, Jade, you said there's commandment back in 33.
33, yes. And don't profane the land where you are for blood.
Okay,
land.
so that leads me to another question. Do we add the murder into this one on the commandments and then add this as well?
I feel like since we added stone the witches and stuff, and we said like the kill the sorcerers.
We'll have people out there killing people.
But yeah, this isn't
You
what we
can
can
do that in the land though. We added the witch one, so what about these?
Yeah, but we can't stone the witches either.
This is more like the criminal laws again. That needs
Criminal
to go
laws. This
into
is
that.
murder.
And we
I
don't.
know,
The thing
but
is, we
it's-
also don't have
that's
cities
so
of
criminal.
refuge. We don't have cities of refuge. We don't have the Kohen
But-
Hagel and the congregation. We have none of those.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing: if you like for the which is like the laws that are intentional murder, they should be put to death.
In the land, if we were in a holy land and somebody murders, we got to follow the laws to the T. So the question for today is on this, trying to get through this and dial this in and make sure we have our P's and Q's and T's signed and I's dotted. Is this a command about murder? Nicole's shaking her head. Kate's shaking his head.
I don't think it is,
I
because
feel like it should be.
if like it could be like, I don't know, maybe like a separate thing of things in the land. If we like make a second sheet of in the land, because we can't do any of this. We can't go kill someone if they've killed a relative of ours. We
You
can't-
can certainly kill someone.
Yeah, but it's not going to go well for us. We're not going to end up.
Depends.
We're not going to end up. We're not going to end up under the jurisdiction of Yah at that point. We're
Right.
under the jurisdiction of
Right,
the
we
government.
will be
We're under-
in the government. So is yes or no, or do we do this?
I don't
Eli,
think
you're
so.
not weighing it at all. I've heard
I'm
nothing
not
out of you.
sure.
You're not sure? I got
I think-
one yes.
I
Jade's
think-
over there with me. We'd probably be the Revengers of Blood.
Yeah. All right, chat. What do you guys think? Do you guys feel like this is a
Anyone,
command?
is anyone in there? Yeah, does anyone that's listening to this, is this a command? Is this something we need to add to our list? I mean, obviously we should not murder,
But the murderers
But
who
we-
kill on purpose.
but
should
we
be
added the
killed.
witch. Is the thing we added stoning witches to this
I
thing?
mean, I think
And
we.
that one probably shouldn't be in there
I
either
thi-
because we can't do that today either.
So we allow witches to roam
Or
about.
if what if we added those and just put a star to the side of it in the land? Don't do this. Warning for now.
This is
times.
for future reference.
I think that would be best if we put it in there as a command, but put a star or like 2 stars next to it saying.
Okay, so we should do that with witches then.
We should any command that we cannot do. We can't kill witches.
Well, we could absolutely kill witches.
We cannot kill witches
Legally.
legally under the government we have now.
Right.
But,
Okay.
but if we add them to the commands and we put a couple stars by the
I
side
think
of
that's
or
a good
whatever,
idea.
and
Okay.
just say in the land.
Okay, good. Okay, so we have a commandment in this that we found. Okay, so one commandment. All right, let's
Okay, so I'll add that when we're done with
perfect.
everything.
All right, so let's hit on 30. The last.
Oh, but
wait.
I do have
What
to
did it
say,
say?
Fearmonger said that, in fact, oddly enough, the rates of pregnancy are much higher in cases of rape. And he also believes that the nurses and everybody involved should be put to death in abortions.
Yeah, absolutely. Go fearmonger. You go, man. You go, Barkley. All right, here we go. 36. And the chief fathers of the families of the children of Gilead. This is the last chapter, guys. This is Numbers. Good. All right, that's it. That's the last chapter of Numbers. And 171 days earlier, we began this. So we have one chapter left. I guess we'll have to
One
throw
book.
one book left. Yeah.
We got 200 days, I think, to do. If we do it one a day, I think.
Yeah,
close to it.
we'll try. I want to try to get through this because our next section is going to be even cooler, and we have 2 things planned for everybody out there. We're going to start going. I don't know who else is going to do it today, but I'm going to start through Ezra, Nehemiah, and the second Ezra, and what they call the fourth Ezra here in Sephra. I don't know what it is, but there's 4 books of Ezra. One is actually Nehemiah. So there's 3 Ezras and 1 Nehemiah. We're going to go through all that. We're going to read through that so that we can get into the 4th book of Ezra, which is amazing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to be doing the unknown commandments of Messiah Yahusha, where we're going to go through Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and we're going to find all the commandments of his that are different than Torah, and we are going to add those in so we have both sets. All right. Let's start again. And the chief fathers of the families of the children of Gilead, the sons of Machir, the sons of Manasseh, of the families of the sons of Joseph, came near and spoke before Moshe and before the princes and the chief fathers of the children of Yashrael. And they said, Yahuwah commanded my Adonai to give the land for my inheritance by lot to the children of Yashrael. And my Adonai was commanded by Yahuwah to give the inheritance of Zephlakad, our brothers, unto his daughters. Now, who are we talking about here?
We gotta do a flashback. Go back a few chapters.
Flashback.
We had 5 daughters of the man named Ziphalahad. There was Makla, Tirzah, Hogla, and Noah. And
How do you remember that?
Oh, they're right here in the book, right here.
wow,
Right
that's
here in
amazing.
the page. And they basically said, our father has no relatives, no brothers to give the land to. We don't want to be outed. He was not part of the Korah. He was not part of the revolution, but he died doing his own thing in the wilderness. We still want a portion of land. Would you give that to us? So Moses went to Yahuwah, Moses and Eleazar, the priest, and Yahuwah said, they speak right, give them their portion of the land. They all deserve a portion of the land. And basically they made a new ruling saying if the person did not have a son or a relative to give it to, it goes to the daughters so that they all have their portions of the land.
Yeah, and this certain situation right here, this is the amazing hand of Yah. That if you think it's all is like my way or no way or this way or that way, and you're going to go to hell if you don't do it. Yah will listen to his people. He listened to Moshe. He changed his ways. He's listened. He will churn with prayer and change things. So these gals, and this is yet another one of those things that, if you would take Brother Shaul, his stuff where women are silent, women don't say anything, they're anything. These 5 women would have. They missed Paul's laws, right? Paul's laws was like keep a woman silent and this and that nature, which are not part of Torah, right? That's part of Paul's laws. 3. And if they be married to any of the sons of other tribes of the children of Yashrael, then shall their inheritance be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be put to the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. So shall it be taken from the lot of our inheritance.
Okay, so if women from other tribes marry, say, a woman from the tribe of Benjamin marries into the tribe of Reuben, then they're going to become part of the Reubenites.
And they will lose that inheritance, correct?
It'll stay with.
Because they're women, right?
Right.
And so here we go. And when the jubilee of the children of Yashrael shall be, then shall their inheritance be put unto the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. So shall their inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our fathers. Okay, excuse me. So this actually sounded like their inheritance would be moved to the next tribe.
It goes with
in the
them.
in the year of the Jubilee.
Yeah, in the year of the Jubilee. And so if they marry into another tribe, then that inheritance becomes part of that other tribe. So you might actually have a house of Reuben inside of the house of, inside of Benjamin's or something of the sort. All right. What's that?
But he doesn't let it happen.
But he doesn't let it happen. All right. And when Moshe commanded the children of Yashrael according to the word of Yahuwah, saying, the tribe of the sons of Joseph has said, well, this is the thing which Yahuwah commands concerning the daughters of Zephlokad, saying, let them marry to whom they think best. Only to the family of the tribe of their father shall they marry.
So basically stay in your tribes.
Stay in your tribe. So shall not the inheritance of the children of Yashrael remove from the tribe to tribe, for every one of the children of Yashrael shall keep himself to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. Okay, we just got that, yeah. So Yah kept his stuff dialed in, right? So this is how...
Keep confusion out of the land.
Well, you wouldn't start having different tribes. It would be all over the place, right? Because if you had these 5 girls here, then there would be another 4 girls, 5 girls, and they would all go into the same rule because the dad would have no boys. And then all of a sudden, the inheritance of people would be all over the place. You would have like 5 or 6 people in this. The tribes would be mixed. And so Yah is keeping these tribes separated for, I guess, a good reason. All right. And every daughter that possesses an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Yashrael shall be a woman unto one of the family of the tribe of her father, that the children of Yashrael may enjoy every man the inheritance of his fathers. Neither shall the inheritance remove from one tribe to another tribe, but every one of the tribes of the children of Yashrael shall keep himself to his own inheritance. Okay, anyone have any discussion points on this?
No,
Basically, he says, stay in your tribe, marry the people.
If you marry inside your tribe, then you'll always have that inheritance.
Right, if you marry outside of it, you're not.
And then Jubilees, yeah, if you go outside of it in Jubilees, it goes back to the original people, right? Or somewhere within that tribe. Is that what I'm reading right?
I think so. I think it goes back. So if you have it, it goes back to like Manasseh instead of staying with Reuben.
Does anyone have anything other than that? Am I reading this right?
I think so.
Okay. Even as Yahuwah commanded Moshe, so did the daughters of Zephlokad. For Makla, Tirzah, and Kogla, and Milcah, and Noah, the daughters of Zephlokad, were married unto their father's brothers' sons. And they were married into the families of the sons of Manasseh, the son of Yosef, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of the family of their father. These are the commandments and the judgments which Yahuwah commanded by the hand of Moshe unto the children of Yashrael in the plains of Moab by the Yarden near Jericho. All right, so I wanted to discuss a little bit about this, and it's very hard. Like if I wanted to leave you guys with a set of land, if we were back in Babylon, if we were in North America, and I wanted to give you guys an inheritance, I would never ever be able to give you an inheritance because the IRS guy would come and want $5,000 a year because you owe property taxes or you have land taxes or you have some kind of taxes. There's absolutely zero way I could ever give you guys some sort of a real inheritance. Whereas we were able to go find another land here, and our yearly taxes are $5 a year, something of the sort, maybe $50 a year. I don't remember what it was, but it's $5 a year. Yeah, Nicole says $5 a year. So here we are, and this is Yah's ways of you didn't lose your land, right? A lot of things can happen over time, and you lose your land. Bad things happen. Somebody dies. You get broke, right? Here you're able to go broke, lend off your house until the Jubilee year, right? Get your money that you need to survive. And then at the end of the Jubilee, you still have your land. You still have your inheritance. So Yah gave these guys extremely good land, and he was extremely smart about this, right? Everything everything from the exit out of Mitzrayim to where they are right now has been surgical, has been strategic, has been exact. There's no wishy-washy about it. there's cities where the people who go and murder. Imagine Yah setting up a land where you didn't have a city of for people who kill people, right? There would be people out there slaying people everywhere. It would have been a mess. But instead, you have 6 cities to run to, and the 6 cities are probably positioned inside of locations that you could, if you're in one part, a remote part, you just run to the closest city, right? And so this is amazing stuff that our Creator has done. This is not man-made direction, because us as men, we would have screwed all this up. We would have totally screwed this up, and our laws, if you look at the laws of the land and the stupid stuff, in North America, you can kill somebody and be out inside of 4 years, right? 4 years. Nothing happens to you. You don't get anything, but yet you've ended a life and nothing happens to you. You can go out there and end another life. You can go get drunk again and kill off a whole nother set of people and just do more years, right? Everything we have in this world is unjust, but everything that our Creator has put together is amazing. His legal system is amazing. His ways of judgments are amazing. Everything. So we have a leader that we need to follow. We have somebody that is demands respect. He demands respect because he has not let us down in any way. And if these are the laws of his land, these laws are good laws. I don't see these laws as being bad. I would love to be under a king or under a law like this. If I kill somebody, I should be killed, right? If you're in part of abortion clinics, you should be killed. You should be dragged outside the city streets and kill them all, right? That's just the way it should be. And we don't have that right now. And so we are lacking goodness in this world. We are lacking any kind of goodness whatsoever. But our Creator, one day, hopefully all these laws come back into effect. I would hope and I would love to live under a community like Yah has. It's good.
Like Fearmonger says, it has order.
It has order. Yeah, absolutely. It has complete order. All right. Well, that is it for the book of Numbers, everyone. That is it for our Shabbat stuff. Everybody who's left in the chat, much love to everybody out there. Anybody new pop in?
Addie popped in, and Blessed One, which I think her name was Rachel before, or Raquel maybe, I can't remember. RS. I don't know who that is.
I'm not familiar with RS, but much love out there, family, and to Barkley and Deb and Mason, and to the Creels, if you guys are out there, the Grand, we love you. You are our adopted grandma. We love you very, very much, and we thank you for all of everything that you do for us and everybody that's out there that makes this ecclesia amazing, right? And this is what the people of Yah should have. They should have little tiny communities like this where we can help each other, we can love each other, we can decipher scriptures and figure this stuff out.
Learn from each other.
Yeah, learn from each other. And we learn as much from you guys as hopefully you guys learn from the readings and teachings that are from scriptures, right? And we're simply parroting what Yah has for us, and I think anybody can do this. So I guess that's it. Much love to everybody out there.
Lester and Zachariah Z. Oh, and RS is Zachariah's wife.
Oh, RS is
His
Zachariah's
beautiful wife.
Oh, his beautiful wife. Hi, RS. So thank you so much for hanging out with Zachariah. We appreciate Zachariah and his comments on there, on all our stuff, and we really do love you guys. So thank you guys very, very much. May Yahuwah bless you. May he keep you. May he guide you. May he make the Shabbat everything to you guys. May you guys get rest. May no wickedness come against you at all, and may your week be truly blessed. With everything, we love you guys, and we thank you guys very, very much. And we will say goodbye.
All right, shalom.